please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live.
Hey everybody. So we've got some news today, some really good news if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan. Forward Max Domi has joined the team for training camp. He is one of those players with diabetes that was kind of up in the air about whether or not he was going to play in the playoffs or opt out and sit the playoffs out. And, he made a deal with the Canadiens that he would wait 7 to 10 days into training camp before making a final decision. And here we are 7 days into training camp, and he has decided to opt in and play for Montreal in this year's playoffs. He was at training camp, at practice today on the ice, and it looks like Domi is good to go. So that is obviously really, really good news for the Montreal Canadiens. He is a huge part of that team's offense. A really, really big piece to that forward group, and having him on the ice makes the Canadiens a significantly better team than when he's not. So that's obviously really good news, and it's going to be great to see him playing against Pittsburgh and that he's able to get on the ice and play. And I believe with Domi playing, the other players that were in question have already chosen to play. Capo Caco is in camp for New York. I think Luke Kunin's playing for Minnesota. So those guys are diabetic and were kind of in question at the beginning of Phase 3 as to whether or not they would play. They have all decided to play, and they've all been given the okay from their doctors to play. So they're going to be on the ice, and that's obviously great news. And some more good news that we got today that very well may have played a role in Domi's decision is that the NHL has released their first round of COVID testing numbers from the first 5 days of Phase 3, and the numbers are very, very good. From July 13th to July 18th, so the first 5 days of Phase 3, they've administered over 2,600 tests. Over 800 players have been tested, so I assume all the players at this point have been tested, probably multiple times. And there's only been 2 positive tests the entire time in Phase 3. So that is enormously good news for the NHL. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's not 0, and everyone wishes that it could be 0. But given the state of the world right now, particularly the U.S., and with numbers surging in a lot of different areas in the U.S., I was worried that this number was going to be 20, 25, 30 positive tests, and it's only 2. That is extremely, extremely good news for everyone, for the league, for the players, for the fans, for everyone involved. That's awesome to have just 2 positive tests in the beginning of Phase 3. And Phase 3, this is the risky time. This is the time that I'm worried about because the players aren't bubbled off yet. The players are not in the bubble. They are in their home cities, living their normal lives in their apartments or homes, wherever they live normally, and they're still traveling to and from the rink every day. And it's still a risky time for them. They are pretty much a regular person at this point still. Obviously, they're probably not going out to grocery stores or stuff like that, like you and I do. They're probably having food delivered and things like that. But still, they're not bubbled off yet. They're not completely out of the woods. And for only to have 2 positive tests is a really, really good sign, because once they get to the bubble, no one's allowed in, no one's allowed out. It's very secure. If they can safely get into the bubble, I think from that point on, it's going to be good to go. They're going to be fine. It's just about getting there, and that's right now. These 2 weeks right now that are really about getting there. And so far, so good. Hopefully that continues. Definitely knocking on wood. Hopefully the numbers stay extremely low like they are, and we can get everyone safely to the bubble and into their hub cities, into their hotels, and then from that point on, they will not be having contact with the outside world, and the outside world will not be having contact with them, and everything from that point on should be fine, assuming there's no major breach of security, which I don't think there's going to be. That's really, really good news. So as we get closer here, we're just about a week away from the beginning of games starting next Tuesday. It's good news coming out of the NHL on all fronts, which is really, really good to see. We've got players opting to play that can safely play. We've got really good testing numbers that are showing really, really low positivity numbers. And overall, just good news coming out of the NHL. And that is great for the league, for the players, for the fans, for everyone involved, that we can hopefully safely get the 2020 season and playoffs wrapped up over the next couple months, and then safely start the 2020-2021 season in December and have hockey continue and have hockey on our TV screens. So that's pretty much it for this one. Great news on both fronts there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.